Everyone, welcome to Manika IAS. This is your weekly session for Places in News. In this particular session, we'll be covering topics that were in news between 29th of June to 5th of July. Okay, so we have been covering this session, these weekly sessions from 1st June onwards. So anybody who wants to cover their series, they can go back and watch all the previous sessions to complete their mapping series. Okay, so there are 4 topics for today, and these are those 4 topics. So we'll be talking about these 4 topics. Visinjam International Transshipment Port Kerala, very interesting and very important topic. All right, then Namdapha National Park, Taxila, Mohra, Morado, and Sirkap in Pakistan. Why this is in news? Because UNESCO has given a warning to Pakistan. We will be discuss what is the warning about. Then the fourth is your Om Parvat and Nabindang. A very interesting fact. In fact, when I read it for the first time, I was like very surprised. So it is very interesting. So we'll see that as well. Now let's begin with the very first topic, which is your Visinjam International Transshipment Port. ठीक है. Now very first thing कि ये न्यूज में है क्यों, what is the issue that it is in news? See, this particular Visinjam International Transshipment Port is operated under a PPP model. What is PPP? Public Private Partnership. Okay, so along with the government, the private entities Adani Group of companies, right? Now this Adani Group of companies, they have decided to take foreign investment and dilute 49% of their stakes to a particular global shipping company named as Mediterranean Shipping Company. Okay, so what they have decided that they will dilute their 49% stake to a Swiss based shipping company, which is Mediterranean Shipping Company. Now this is globally the largest shipping company. Then what is the issue? अगर वो dilute करना चाह रहे हैं, then what is the problem? The problem is it is a PPP and also it is a national strategic asset. So if when you want to dilute, when you want to privatize, when you want to let go of your stake, you want to let somebody as a foreign investment come on board on the equity platform, then it is very important, अगर कोई strategic national asset है, that the government clearance must be taken. But in this case, the government clearance so far has not been sought. So Kerala government, जहाँ पे केरला में ये located है, they have raised question. ठीक है? And as a result of which, as of now, the process is halted till the time you have security clearances. So what is required? The requirement is that it need clearance from state government, it need clearance from center government. All right, so that is why this is in news. Now another important aspect for you, अगर कोई प्राइवेटाइजेशन के लिए इक्विटी स्टेक कर रहा है तो बेनिफिट क्या है? सबसे पहले द बेनिफिट इट इज दैट दिस एमएससी कंपनी इज ग्लोबली द लार्जेस्ट कंपनी फॉर शिपिंग. सो इट विल ब्रिंग इन स्ट्रक्चर एंड इट विल ब्रिंग इन बेटर रेगुलेशन इन प्लेस. ठीक है, बेटर सिस्टम्स ऑफ ऑपरेशन, एसओपीज को इम्प्रूव करेगा. ऑल राइट, नाउ दिस इज द प्लस, बट व्हाट इज द नेगेटिव एस्पेक्ट? सो ग्लोबली मतलब इंडिया के अंदर ऐसा नहीं है कि यू आर लुकिंग फॉर प्राइवेटाइजेशन फॉर द वेरी फर्स्ट टाइम. दिस इज नॉट द केस. वी हैव seen previous cases as well जहाँ पे FDI was seeked in. But the problem was when the security analysis was done, when thorough investigation was conducted, it was found that those company who are eager to invest has were somehow connected with China. Either China as an investor or China as a stakeholder. ठीक है? This is the problem, that if China is involved in any of the work management of MSC or through funding or anything else, till the security clearance is done, you cannot let them invest. Why? Because China, what it is trying to do, as we all know, China is trying to create a string of pearls through ports like Gwadar Port in Pakistan, and then here in Colombo, Hambantota Port. So, what are we trying to? We are trying to safeguard our national interest. Why? Because we do not want the military presence of China in our surrounding area. We want to secure our interest. Why? Because their presence can in turn hamper, first of all, in case of war, can be a direct threat. Second, they can also hamper the supply chains. As we have seen in the case of Strait of Hormuz, जब से यूएस से और ईरान के बीच में वॉर शुरू हुआ, the Strait of Hormuz got halted. ठीक है, the ships were not allowed to sent through the Strait of Hormuz, as a result of which what happened, our fuel energy supply was halted. There was an issue. We still face an issue for LPGs. That kind of trouble can come if the presence of China is there. And what we are seeking, if we are seeking private investment, we have to be very sure there is no direct connection with China. Not just that, we have to further doubly ensure that in future also China cannot come on board with that public company. All right. So that is the biggest threat in terms of national security. Now let us see the location of this Vizhinjam port. Now it is located in Trivandrum and in Kerala. All right. Now, why this entire location is very strategic? There are 2 points to it. One is this location. Second, it is a transshipment port. Now, what is a transshipment port? Transshipment port simply means larger cargoes will come to this particular port from the surrounding port. All right. And from here, the cargoes, the goods will be split it into further smaller cargoes and feeders, and will be sent to other ports within the country itself. Okay, that is why it is a transshipment port. What is another point with respect to the location? It is located at the hub of east-west shipping routes. What are these routes? Now, these are the world highest volume maritime and logistic trade lanes. That is why now if you see, this is your east-west shipping route and this is here your Vizhinjam is. Now, the purpose of this is that the goods coming through this route can be collected and then sent to further internal ports of India. Okay? So that is why the location matters. Now we'll see in detail what is east-west maritime trade route. All right. Now let's see. Just a sec. See. So basically, east-west जो trade route है is connecting the entire world through one single route. Okay. And there are 3 subroutes to it. One is your Asian-Europe route. What is this? This is this particular route. Asia से through Strait of Malacca, through Colombo, and then through Strait of Hormuz to Suez Canal. ठीक है? Sorry, Bab el Mandab, not Hormuz. Hormuz is there. This is Bab el Mandab, then it is going to Suez Canal. Now, this is then connecting to the Western Europe. This is your Asia-Europe route. So, अगर हम विजिंजाम की पोजीशन देखें तो वो यहाँ पे है. तो बेसिकली इसके हार्टलैंड के अंदर हो गया, ताकि कोलंबो से या फिर मलक्का से कोई भी आपका कार्गोज आ रहे हैं, इट कैन बी कलेक्टेड हियर. सो इट हैज अ वेरी स्ट्रेटेजिक लोकेशन. First point. Then second route under east-west trade route is your Trans-Pacific route. Now, what is the Trans-Pacific route? If you see it across the Pacific Ocean, it covers and it connects East Asia. That means this area of yours, this red route to your US. Okay? And that is why it is known as Trans-Pacific route, because it is covering the Pacific Ocean from your eastern countries, East Asia, to your west and east coast of United States and Canada, this area. All right. So that this particular route is known as Trans-Pacific route. The third route is your Transatlantic route. As the name suggests, it crosses the Atlantic Ocean, right? So हमने एशिया से यूरोप को कनेक्ट कर दिया, देन ईस्टर्न एशिया से वेस्टर्न यूएस को कनेक्ट कर दिया एंड कनाडा को कनेक्ट कर दिया. नाउ व्हाट इज कनेक्टिंग ईस्टर्न अमेरिका to Western Europe is your transatlantic route. All right. So this particular route is your transatlantic route. The entire these three route together known as east-west trade route. So the location is very important and strategically very interesting for us to safeguard our own interests in case we want to maintain our national security. All right. That is why you need, even if it is a PP model, you need the government clearances for you to seek investment from a global age company, because your structural refinement cannot override national interest. This is very clear. All right. Now let's move to the next topic, which is your Namdapha National Park. Now, the Namdapha National Park is the easternmost national park. Okay. This is one point that you need to remember. If you see, this is your Northeast India and this is your Arunachal Pradesh, and it is located just here at the tri-junction for India, Myanmar and China. So it is your easternmost national park that you have, biodiversity hotspot. And it is in which district? It is in Changlak district. All right. Then let's see the location of the reliefs. कहाँ पे है इसकी direct location को discuss करते हैं. Now let's see this. So the very first thing that we have discussed कि नामदफा नेशनल पार्क कहाँ पे लोकेटेड है? अरुणाचल प्रदेश के अंदर. कौन सी डिस्ट्रिक्ट के अंदर? चांगलांग के अंदर. एंड इट इज लोकेटेड इन द ट्राई जंक्शन ऑफ India, Myanmar and China, and it is the easternmost biodiversity hotspot of India. Now these 4 points are very important because UPSC में prelims के अंदर पहले भी नामदफा नेशनल पार्क के ऊपर क्वेश्चन पूछा गया जो हम डिस्कस भी करेंगे. ओके, नाउ दिस इज द वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट जो हमने डिस्कस किया. Now it is between which two ranges? It is located between Dafa, Bum Ridge, Mishmi Hills, and on this side you have Patkai Range. So in दो ranges के बीच में it is located. Further, what are the rivers crossing through it? So the main river is your Noa Dohang River, which is a tributary of Brahmaputra. Then other rivers are your Namdafa, Diban, and Diun River. These three rivers also passes through the Namdapha National Park. All right. Then the most interesting part of this particular national park is that you witness an altitude gradient. Matlab, the level of height ranges from 200 meters to more than 4,500 meters. That means आपको बहुत सारे gradient मिलता है altitude का, and as a result of which you have vegetation and biome diverse vegetation profile. ठीक है? So जहाँ पे आपकी lowlands हैं, there you will find tropical evergreen and moist deciduous forest, and as and when you will move upwards, you will find alpine zones. ठीक है? Scrub vegetation आपको मिलेगी higher reaches पे. So बहुत diversity है. This is another important point. ठीक है? Now another key point is it is the only national park in the world, not in India, in the world, which is sustaining 4 distinct feline species. What are those? One is your Bengal tiger and 3 are of leopard. So there are 3 kind of leopard that you found: common leopard, snow leopard, and clouded leopard. So this is another interesting point. Then Hollock gibbon is the India's only ape species, which is also found in Namdapha National Park. Another sort of primates are stump-tailed macaque, pig-tailed macaque, and Assamese macaque. Okay. So one point that you have to remember, that it is a part of Indo-Burma biodiversity hotspot. And there is one endemic species which is known as flying squirrel, Namdapha flying squirrel, and it is a critically endangered species, and it is exclusively endemic to this ecosystem only, and it is found nowhere else but this particular national park. So these are the points that you have to remember. I'll just repeat it. So Namdapha National Park, located in Changla district of Arunachal Pradesh. Very first point, on the east, it is the easternmost biodiversity hotspot in India. Third point, that it is located in the tri-junction of India, Myanmar and China. And it is located between two ranges, Mishmi Hill ki Dafabam Ridge, and on the southern side you have Patkai Range. The major river flowing across the Namdapha National Park is Noa Dihang River. It is a branch or tributary of Brahmaputra, and the minor rivers are Namdapha, Deban, and Deon River. Further, it has altitude gradient, which is a very distinct feature of this particular national park, that you find lowland rainforest and moist deciduous forest at around 200 meters, and as you go high in the altitude, you find alpine forest, and the altitude variation ranges to more than 4500 meters. The faunal diversity as a result of this altitudinal gradient exists, and this is the only national park in the world which caters to four different kind of feline species. One is Bengal tiger, then is your common leopard, third is snow leopard, and fourth is clouded leopard. All right, Holok gibbon, India's only ape species, is also found, and the endemic species is your Namdapha flying squirrel, which is a critically endangered species and is exclusively endemic to this particular national park only. So these are the points that you have to remember, because you can found question around any of these points. All these points are very important. All right. Now let's see the next topic, which is your Takshila, Mohra Morado, and Sirkap, Pakistan. Why it is in news? It is in news because UNESCO ने एक severe warning issue की है that it will delist these particular sites, and it is demoting these sites to danger list. The reason being, there are unauthorized and unscientific modern brick and mortar reconstruction executed by local archaeological department in these particular areas. Okay. So आप अगर यूनेस्को के अंदर आपकी कोई साइट है, आप उससे छेड़खानी नहीं कर सकते. यू हैव टू प्रिजर्व द कल्चर. दैट इज द पर्पज दैट यूनेस्को को हेरिटेज के अंदर लिस्ट किया गया, दैट यू वांट टू प्रिजर्व दैट हेरिटेज एंड द कल्चर. Now you cannot do the construction, and in Pakistan the construction is happening. ठीक है, that is why UNESCO has passed on the warning. Now if you see the location, it is located here, and here you have Mora Morado, and on the southern side you have Sirkap. It is an Indo-Greek city, and it is the early Buddhist monastery. So this is the location. Let's discuss about this site, because question यहाँ से आ सकता है एग्जाम के अंदर. ठीक है, let's see about the details. तो सिरकप क्या है? सिरकप इज अ इंडो ग्रीक और इंडियन पार्थो सिटी है, पार्थियन सिटी. नाउ ग्रीको बैक्टीरियन किंग डिमेट्रियस ने 180 BC में इसको बनाया था. ठीक है, सिरकप वाज लेड आउट ऑन ग्रिड प्लान, जैसा आपका हड़प्पन सिविलाइजेशन बनी थी, टाइप ऑफ हेलेनिस्टिक अर्बन प्लानिंग, एंड इट हैज straight street intersecting at 90-degree angles. Okay, so this is the key feature, that it is a developed urban kind of a structure that was there. Then it is highly fortified and have syncretic religious architecture. They are notable example is of shrine of a double-headed eagle is also found there. Okay. It is a blend of Greek, Hindu, and Buddhist architecture elements, and it reflects Indo-Parthian and Indo-Greek cultural synthesis. So these are the important points, that it was founded by a Greek Bactrian king, which is Demetrius, around 180 BC. All right. And then it has sort of an urban planning where the streets will meet each other, intersect each other at 90 degrees, and you will find heavily fortified areas in that particular Sirkap region. So and it's a blend of Greek, Hindu, and Buddhist architecture elements. So these are the key points. Then when it comes to Mohra Morado, it is a Buddhist monastery. Okay? And it is behind, within the mountains behind Sirkap, जैसे हमने मैप में देखा था. ठीक है, आर्किटेक्चर की हम बात करें तो देयर इज अ लार्ज सेंट्रल बुद्धिस्ट स्तूपा वहां पे है, ठीक है, एंड उसके साथ एक मोनेस्ट्री अटैच है. सो दिस इज व्हाट यू हैव टू रिमेंबर कि यहाँ पे रिलीफ ऑफ बुद्धा एंड बोधिसत्वास आर ऑल्सो अवेलेबल, विच इज अ फीचर ऑफ गांधारा आर्ट. ठीक है, तो दीज आर द पॉइंट्स दैट यू हैव टू रिमेंबर. मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट इज कि आपको याद रखना है ये इंडो ग्रीक का है, एंड इट इज अ सिंथेसिस ऑफ ग्रीक, हिंदू एंड बुद्धिस्ट आर्किटेक्चर. 2 points are very important. When it comes to Mohra Murado, you have to remember that it represent Gandhara art. ठीक है, Gandhara arts related, and it is a Buddhist monastery. These 2 points are very important. Then the fourth and the last topic for today is your Om Parvat. Now I told you I found it very interesting. Oh, okay, I have not taken the image. So there, if you see how it looks like, okay, there are large deposition of black color material on the mountains, the soil itself, and in between the crevices, you see snow deposition. And when you see from the spatial angle, आप उसको ऊपर से देखोगे तो it will look like this. It will look like this. It will create this feature. The representation is like this. So it makes a Hindu symbol of Om. ठीक है, when you see it from the top angle. So that is why this is very interesting and known as Om Parvat, भी नाम उसका वहां से आया है. ठीक है, so basically issue क्या था, why this is in news? Let's talk about that first. It was in news because a man-made 3-tone stone shivling monument at Nabidang was, people were trying to install it there, but the indigenous Rang community, जो original inhabitant है वहाँ के, they protested, and as a result of which इसको यहाँ वहाँ पे नहीं लगाया गया. The process of installation was halted. Now why they protest against it? Because it is the highest altitude का बेस कैंप है, ठीक है, एंड इट इज अ व्यू पॉइंट है जो सेक्रेड ओम पर्वत से विजिबिलिटी को प्रोवाइड करता है. ठीक है, दैट इज वाई फर्दर it will the indigenous community का livelihood भी dependent होता है. So that is why they don't want their nature to be altered with. That is the reason they says we will not let them do this. Okay. So if you have to see कि location क्या है ओम पर्वत की, कौन सी रेंज के अंदर है. So it is a part of Kumaon Himalayas, which is a sub range of your Greater Himalayas. ठीक है, and it is located in Uttarakhand. So it is situated in Vyas Valley within Pithoragarh district in Uttarakhand. ठीक है, and it is again, ये भी एक strategic dry junction पे located है. If we have seen this, just give me a sec. Now if you see in this particular image, this is visible that it is located in the dry junction of Tibet, India, ठीक है, and Nepal. Okay, so this is why it is again located at a very strategic location. Further, it has high proximity to trade route because the peak is near the Lipu Lake Pass, which connect India to Tibet. ठीक है, passes we have read, तो वहाँ पे लिपू लेक पास से it is located near that. All right. The mountain range is part of Kumaon Hills, which is a sub range of Greater Himalayas. We have discussed that. Now the thing is कि it lies directly on the border. तो इसका the access is very restricted because border के पास they have to guard the borders. That is why the access is restricted. All right. Now the most accessible point there is Nabidang. This is the point जहाँ पे आप जा सकते हो, ठीक है, and from this point only you can see the Om Parvat itself. और वो इसी point के ऊपर उस शिवलिंग के स्टैचू को they were trying to install. As a result, the viewpoint would have halted. So the indigenous Rang community, they protested against this. All right. So अगर हम हाइड्रोलॉजी की बात करें, the source is of Kali River. It is very close to Kali River, so it flows near that. And this was about your Om Parvat. Now let's have a discussion on practice question. Let's see the practice question. So if I repeat the Om Parvat, let's have a repeat discussion with this. So it is located at a tri-junction of three countries, Nepal, India and Tibet. In India, it is located in Uttarakhand. All right. Uttarakhand mein, it is located in Kumaon Himalayas, which is a range of sub-range of Greater Himalayas. Correct. Now, uh, more than that, the nearby river is your Kali River. Another interesting point is that the access to this Om Parvat is restricted because it is on the border of the country, and the nearest point, जो viewpoint है, is your Nabidang. All right. And it is at this place where the people were trying to install a statue of Shivling, and as a result of which the Rang community, they protested and make sure the installation didn't take place, because it would have halted with the view of Om Parvat, okay, which is which looks like this. Okay, so this was about this particular Om Parvat. Now let's see the questions. The very first question is, the ancient Buddhist monastic complex of Mora Morado, recently threatened with the downgrade to UNESCO danger list, is most accurately associated with which of the following school of art? So what we have discussed about this, that it is a Buddhist monastery and is located with Gandhara School of Art. So the correct answer here is C, which is Gandhara School of Art. Let's see the next question, which is your, consider the following statement regarding Om Parvat and the surrounding geography. It is located at a strategic tri-junction of India, Nepal and Bhutan. The region falls within Vyas Valley of Pithoragarh district. Naibdang act as a prominent viewpoint for Om Parvat along the route to the Lipu Lake Pass. So the very first statement says it is a tri-junction of India, Nepal and Bhutan, and we have seen that it is not Bhutan, it is Tibet. In fact, it is in Uttarakhand, so Bhutan cannot be the case. So either of the two statements can be correct. So these two statements are correct, and as a result of which your answer is B. Now let's see the PYQ. This is your PYQ of 2015, not 25. Okay. Which one of the following national park has a climate that varies from tropical to subtropical, temperate and arctic? Okay. So your option are Kanchenjunga, Nanda Devi, Neora Valley National Park and Namdapha. And as we have discussed, it is Namdapha National Park. The reason being, you have an altitude gradient from 200 meter to 4500 meters. Okay, that is why with altitude, temperature changes, and as a result of which your vegetation also changes. So the correct answer here is D, and this is the kind of question that UPSC used to ask. It will ask, so we have to be prepared for such kind of questions. All right, so this was it for today. If you want the PDF or the PPT, you can either comment or you can get it from the Telegram group. The link will be in the description. And if you have any query, you can text me on this particular number. I will be very happy to help. All right. Thank you. Have a very nice day.